I just spent the last few days packing up my studio and basically our entire house as we get ready to renovate. And I thought the process was going to be very chaotic and very stressful. And don't get me wrong, there has been a fair share of chaos and anxiety. But what I didn't expect was that packing up the studio would bring up so many big feelings for me. I have felt inspired to use this next few weeks as a mini creative summer retreat for my small business. Welcome to the Airbnb, Creative Pals. I just spent the last few days packing up the studio and basically our whole entire house. And it has been a long couple of days. It was my intention to basically vlog the whole process, but yeah, if any of you have ever moved or renovated anything, then you'll totally understand that as soon as the process started and decisions needed to be made and things needed to happen faster than I expected them to, the vlogging kind of went out the window. I did, however, kind of check in and document the process a little bit as I was going, especially with the studio and as things started to get really ripped out and the house started to look really empty. So I will insert those clips here. It is day one of packing and moving. It is currently like 8 o'clock in the evening. To be fair, I did not actually start until 6. And yeah, we are in comfy clothes. I'm actually wearing, let me put you down so you can see, the merch samples that I got done up. This one is the Life is Messy PB&J. So here is the progress that I've made so far today. Book cabinet is completely empty. I've started this cupboard. So I've done 2 shelves of that cupboard, and of that, just the books and 2 shelves of that cupboard. This is what we are dealing with. All of these boxes are just from my office. We've also fully emptied the kitchen. The kitchen has completely been ripped out and removed. Towels are down. Everything is boxed up. Yeah, it's been a busy couple of days. I am at the point where I'm starting to get stressed and anxious because packing is not my favorite thing to do. For some reason, packing is a massive anxiety trigger for me. Just as soon as I need to start putting things in boxes or even in suitcases, packing to go on a trip that I have planned and organized, for some reason makes me really anxious. So I got up this morning, I was really excited to start packing, but then I think the reality of just like how much we have to manage to store in the next 2 days and store for like basically a month in our own house kind of got to me. I think my brain in Wednesdays is finding it difficult to separate like packing and not actually moving, because obviously the last couple of times that I've packed up, we've been moving house, and the last 2 times that I've packed up, we are actually moving like country. So I think that is what is triggering the anxiety, the idea of like things have to be like packed because they're going to be moving, but I keep having to remind myself that I don't need to perfectly pack things because they're literally just going from this room upstairs for a month. So yeah, that is where we're at. Also, I did like have a mild panic attack about the fact that I have 5 boxes from 1.5 cupboards, but then I did realize that basically the majority of the contents of the studio is in those cupboards. Everything else is just like stuff on my desk. So like this side of the room is not actually going to take up much space in a box. So yeah, that is the day 1 check-in. In a very glam look, but we're keeping it real over here. And I will check in with you guys tomorrow when I really have to grind, because yeah, tomorrow's Sunday and everything has to be packed up by the end of tomorrow because the builders come 7:30 on Monday morning and I have to go and collect the keys for the Airbnb on Monday, and we have to go and like set up there for work and living for the next month. Check-in. You guys can probably tell by the echoey sound, but the studio is completely empty. We have been at it since I think like 10 o'clock this morning. It's now around 7. Joe just went out to get some takeout because we also have no kitchen at the moment. I think I showed you guys yesterday, but I don't remember. But basically, our kitchen got ripped out at the start of the week. Also down here is completely empty apart from the fridge, which needs to be emptied out tomorrow, and just like some stuff that we'll be taking with us to the apartment, the Airbnb. But yep, the studio is completely empty. Everything is down off the walls, including the shelves, because it's going to get repainted. Now that everything is blank, I'm very, very tempted to possibly wallpaper that wall. Let me know in the comments if you guys think that I should do a little bit of a wallpaper addition to this room. Very mix of feelings right now. I'm feeling anxious about everything starting. I'm feeling excited about new beginnings. I spent the whole day listening to like motivational podcasts. I actually was listening to a ton of episodes from Grace Beverly's podcast today on Instagram, which I barely picked up my phone today for Instagram, but anytime I picked it up, I saw like these quotes or like these little reels from mindset pages that I followed but haven't seen content from ages, but basically like a ton of signs that this is a new beginning and a fresh start and things are like aligning. And yeah, that makes me feel really, really excited that even though we're not like permanently moving out of this house, it kind of feels like this week is the start of a fresh start. And given all of the feelings that I've had about my business lately, I'm really looking forward to using the next 3 weeks to kind of reset my mindset and do some like planning and clarity searching and figure out like what are the next steps going to be, because when I come back here, this is going to be a completely different space and I want to come back with like a fresh mindset with clarity on like what are the next steps for me so that I can make my business feel really creative and fulfilling again and not constantly feel like I'm in a cycle of burnout or like success, or like I said in a recent blog, feels like a feast or famine cycle. So yeah, I just wanted to give a little check-in with you guys. It is the end of day 2. We're gonna have some dinner. We're gonna go to bed early because we have got to get up super early tomorrow morning to finish packing up the car, and go to the B&B, to the Airbnb before the builders arrive around 7:30 a.m. they've said. Exciting stuff. I'm so excited. It is now a couple of days later. It is Wednesday, I believe, and we have been in the Airbnb since Monday morning. The last 2 days, the start of this week has really just flown by. Monday was just like the most chaotic day where we spent the day moving into the Airbnb, but also the builders kind of arrived and got started. And luckily we have hired builders who seem to be like really, really efficient and productive. But it was a bit of a shock to the system at 7:30 on Monday morning when they came in with like drills and jackhammers and just started literally drilling holes in the walls and asking us where things needed to go and like what could be broken. And it was definitely like a shock to the system. But it's also been like really exciting. Adulting is scary and hard, and there's been a lot that has gone into getting to where we are now, which I didn't really share because, again, if any of you have ever been homeowners or done any kind kind of renovating, there is such a roller coaster of emotion that goes into it, where I think everyone who does it feels like they haven't really like earned their adulting card enough to be there doing it. I have definitely at so many occasions when we've been making decisions just felt like, how did I end up here? Like, how am I the one that is responsible for making this decision? But here we are. The other kind of surprising thing that's come out of this whole experience so far has been just the amount of light bulb moments and like gut feelings that I have had, because I knew I was going to have to pack up the studio. I knew I was going to have to move out. I knew I was going to have to work in a temporary workspace, but I didn't really let myself ruminate on that or think about it too much, because packing and change are massive anxiety triggers for me. So I was not thinking too much about this move that I was going to have to do, because I knew if I thought about it too much, I would start to get really, really anxious. But what I didn't expect was the more that I got into the packing experience and the more that I kind of, I guess, looked through all of the stuff that I owned, the more that I started to have these light bulb moments. I was listening to a lot of like uplifting content. I started listening to Grace Beverly's podcast, which is called Working Hard. And it's been ages since I found a good podcast that is like a good mix of inspirational and aspirational. And definitely this podcast is that for me, because there's just like such a mix of topics that she covers. But basically I was listening to that podcast, I was packing up the studio, and there's just so many light bulb moments that made me realize it's time for some really good change in my business, and for me to take a really long, hard look about how I structure my days around my business, and to get really, really honest with myself about how I've ended up feeling so burnt out lately and so much in the last year and a half. Long story short, I have decided to use this time at the Airbnb as a low/no budget summer retreat for my business. For any of you who might be kind of feeling that summer rut in your creative business, or like as things slow down for summer, you're starting to feel like the tail end of that burnout, while also thinking to yourself about how close peak season is on the other side of the summer, that maybe we could all have some kind of low/no budget creative retreats for our small businesses, stay at home summer retreats. I'm going to be making like a plan today. I'm going to bring you along, and I'm hoping to kind of like turn this maybe into like a small business challenge or like a creative business owners challenge that we can kind of take together. Anyway, I have a ton of work to do because I have been offline for basically 3 or 4 days. Currently 4:15, lunch ran long, and then Joe came back from the house for a little break, and I had a package delivered, which I already ripped open. The lovely team at Moft sent me some goodies for my current temporary workspace, which I'm very, very excited about. I did already go ahead and open up the package, as I shared, because I was really, really excited to finally try the invisible phone tripod. Let me show you guys how it works. Hold on. So if you've never heard of Moft, they design tech cases inspired by origami. You can fold them in different ways for them to support your devices in different ways. You have probably seen this tripod somewhere on Instagram or TikTok because it went pretty viral last summer. I actually found it really hard to get one. I looked on Amazon and I looked online for ages, but I couldn't get them in the colors I wanted. And then the lovely team at Moft offered to send me some for my temporary workspace. So thank you, you guys. So this is the snap tripod. It snaps onto any MagSafe compatible case, which all of my Casetify cases are. So this is my best-selling Happy Daisies case, which is on a crystal clear MagSafe case. So this like snaps right to the case, and then it bends that you can use it like a selfie tripod, and then you can also open up the base of it, but then you can basically stand it on the table like this. So this will be great for like doing an Instagram live, for example, or you can bend it back this way into showcase mode. So if you like to do like little reels of your creativity or drawing process, for example, you can do it like that, which I'm very excited about, because you guys know that one of the things I want to do is get better at posting on Instagram stories again, because since I started vlogging, thank you, Coco. Since I started vlogging, I got out of the habit of Instagram stories. So I'm really excited about having a very easy way to prop my phone up for doing stories or grabbing like a quick time lapse. What they also sent me, which I believe is brand new, is their dynamic folio for iPad, which I am very excited to try. And I saved this to open up with you guys. So let's open this up and put it on my iPad, because it has some really cool different modes for like drawing, and then also a version where you can prop your phone up while also having your iPad in. So if you want to like watch a tutorial or have like a reference image. So I am very excited to try this out. So let's go ahead and unbox it and put our iPad into it and give it a try. This is like the coolest packaging. So mode number 1. Oh, okay. Now I get it. How do I go into like drawing mode? Oh, is that right? See, it's like the perfect angle for drawing. This is where I can also snap my phone, I believe. Oh! It works. I did not expect that snap. So I could have like a YouTube video going up here and then be drawing down here. This really definitely is inspired by origami, because this reminds me of like those origami craft books. You start looking at the instructions and then you're like, why does my fold not look like the fold in the instructions? So thank you so much, Moft, for setting me up for my temporary workspace. I am very, very happy about this. Now it is 4:30 now, and I still have to finish editing my Patreon podcast. So I am going to do that. I am having a very, very unfocused day because I spent basically most of the morning brainstorming my creative retreat idea. So I am going to edit the Patreon podcast, and then we are going to have a little coffee chat to finish up today's vlog, so I can fill you in on all the details of the creative retreat, because I have figured out how to turn it into a free challenge that is going to be valuable for me and my need to currently reset my business, but that's also hopefully going to be helpful for all of you that responded to the comments of my last video and shared that you are in a similar position in your business right now and in need of some inspiration. So we're going to do this together. But first, I do need to edit my Patreon podcast. Guys, it is actually quite a few days later. It's actually Friday. I just finished up, basically spent the whole day editing and finalizing this week's YouTube video, which was my Instagram reset strategy video. If you haven't already seen or watched that video, I will put a little link to it here. Anyway, I wanted to have a little quick coffee chat with you guys before I finished up this vlog and finished out this week. Last time that I checked in with you guys, I started planning and brainstorming my idea for a summer retreat, a low or no budget summer retreat. I'm kind of nicknaming it the burnout support group. And I got really, really inspired thinking about all the things that I want want to do over the next 2-3 weeks. And as I shared with you guys at the start of this vlog, I had the idea of turning it into something that I could share with you guys with the community. So I actually came up with the idea to create a free challenge from this kind of reset retreat plan that I was making for myself. It's going to be a 10-day virtual retreat, which will not require any of us to leave our homes, buy a plane ticket. It's free as well, so you don't have to buy any ticket to access it. And it's going to be like small daily actions that are easy wins, low lift tasks that are going to give you big clarity, big light bulb moments. And also it's going to have a community aspect of it. So I'm going to create a specific Instagram broadcast channel for this challenge so that we can all kind of connect and share what we're working on. The challenge or the retreat is going to start June 16th. So if you are watching this video the week that it goes up, you can actually use the link in the description under this video to join the waitlist. If you're watching it in the future, I will have made like an evergreen replay version of this challenge. So you can still use the link in the description to join the challenge. You just won't be joining it live with us in June 2025. I am very, very excited about starting this community challenge, about having like these couple of weeks of reflecting and resetting my own business, as I've already shared a ton in this video. But I'm also really, really excited that I get to share that experience with you guys, not just in these vlogs, but also in a really fun community way. I am gonna end out this vlog here. I will chat with you guys in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.